Ever wonder how a brand new tractor, fresh off the assembly line,
Yeah.
ends up on a farm
Yeah.
halfway across the world?
Yeah.
It's not as simple as just putting it on a really big boat.
Right.
That's where the world of import-export specialists comes in.
Absolutely.
And today, we're diving deep into what it takes to become one.
Okay.
Specifically in the agricultural machinery and equipment sector.
Right.
It's a side of global agriculture most people don't see.
Right.
It's less about the tractors themselves.
Yeah.
And more about the intricate dance of international regulations, logistics,
Okay.
and making sure those tractors get where they need to be on time and in one piece.
So it's a global puzzle.
It is a global puzzle.
With a lot of pieces.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's break that down. When we say import-export specialist, what exactly does that mean in this context?
Paint me a picture.
Okay, so imagine this.
Okay.
A farmer in Argentina
Okay.
needs a new harvester for the upcoming season.
Right.
On the other side of the world, a company in Germany manufactures those harvesters.
Okay.
An import-export specialist
Is the crucial link between that farmer and their much-needed equipment.
Okay.
They navigate the complexities of customs regulations,
Right.
international shipping.
And all the paperwork in between.
Ah.
Ensuring a smooth journey from factory floor to farmland.
So it sounds like all not more than just paperwork.
You're practically a global logistics ninja.
That's a good way to put it.
What does a typical day even look like for someone in this role?
There's no such thing as typical in this line of work.
Really?
One day, you might be on the phone with a manufacturer in Italy,
Okay.
hammering out the specifics of a shipment contract.
The next lind, you could be researching updated customs regulations for agricultural equipment entering Brazil.
Wow.
Then you might find yourself coordinating with a freight forwarder, a customs broker,
Okay.
and maybe even the farmer themselves to troubleshoot a shipment delay.
Oh, wow.
It's fast-paced.
And ever-changing.
Wow, that sounds intense.
Yeah.
But also incredibly exciting.
Absolutely.
But I have to ask, with so many moving parts,
Yeah.
what really makes someone successful in this role?
Is it all about knowing the ins and outs of international trade regulations?
Knowing the rules of the game is crucial.
Right.
Of course.
But it's only part of the equation.
Okay.
What truly sets a successful import-export specialist apart
Yeah.
is a unique blend of hard and soft skills.
Okay.
Think of it as the perfect recipe for success in the world of global agricultural trade.
All right. I'm definitely intrigued.
Let's break down those essential ingredients, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
What are some of the key skills aspiring import-export specialists need to cultivate?
So we were talking about hard and soft skills for being an import-export specialist.
Right.
What are some of those must-have qualities then?
Well, our research from RoleCatcher highlights active listening as being incredibly important.
Yeah.
Even more than you might think at first glance.
Okay.
We're talking 57% importance.
57%.
Yeah, wow.
I get that listening is important in any job.
Sure.
But 57%, yeah, it's a lot.
That's a lot. What makes it so crucial for an import-export specialist?
It's about truly understanding the needs and concerns of everyone involved in the process.
You're dealing with manufacturers on tight deadlines, shipping companies navigating complex logistics, customs officials enforcing ever-changing regulations.
And of course, the farmers themselves who are depending on that equipment.
So it's not just about hearing what people say,
No.
but really understanding their unspoken needs.
Yeah.
And anticipating potential problems before they even arise.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Imagine this.
Yeah.
You're working on getting a shipment of tractors to drought-stricken farmers in Africa.
Right.
Everything seems on track.
Okay.
But through active listening, during a call with the shipping company, you pick up on a hesitant tone when they mention the port's unloading schedule.
Okay.
You dig a little deeper
Yeah.
and discover a potential backlog due to a recent storm.
Oh, wow.
So just by
Actively listening, you've uncovered a potential delay
Yeah.
that could have had disastrous consequences for
That's
those farmers.
That's a powerful example of how a soft skill like active listening can have a real-world impact in this field.
Yes.
It's like the fate of a harvest could hinge on your ability to really listen.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And speaking of crucial skills,
Yeah.
RoleCatcher also highlights critical thinking.
At a 55% importance level.
Okay.
It's not enough to just know the procedures.
Yeah.
You need to think on your feet and find solutions when the unexpected happens.
Right.
Which it inevitably will.
Right. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Give me an example. How would critical thinking come into play in a high-pressure situation?
Let's say you've arranged for a shipment of combine harvesters to arrive at a port in Ukraine.
Okay.
Just before their harvest season kicks off. Suddenly there's a dock worker strike.
Oh.
And the port is at a standstill.
A good import-export specialist wouldn't just panic.
Right.
They'd use their critical thinking skills to quickly assess the situation and explore every possible option.
So they might look for alternative ports.
Yeah.
Even if it means higher transportation costs.
Right.
Or rerouting the shipment through a different country altogether.
Precisely.
Okay.
They'd be weighing the financial implications.
Against the urgency of getting those harvesters to the farmers on time.
Okay.
It's about thinking strategically and making tough decisions under pressure.
Yeah. That sounds pretty stressful.
It can be.
Okay, so active listening.
Yeah.
Critical thinking.
Got it.
Uh-huh.
Now, RoleCatcher also mentioned knowledge of law and government at a whopping 61% importance.
Yeah.
I imagine that's crucial when you're dealing with international trade regulations.
It is.
But is it really just about paperwork?
It goes way beyond paperwork.
Yeah.
This is about having a deep understanding of international trade law.
Specific customs regulations of different countries. And how things like trade agreements or even political situations could impact the movement of goods.
So, for instance, knowing about something like Incoterms.
Yeah.
Those international commercial terms would be crucial.
Exactly.
Oh.
Incoterms are a globally recognized set of terms.
That define the responsibilities of buyers and sellers in international trade transactions.
An import-export specialist needs to know these terms inside and out.
Okay.
To ensure smooth and legally sound transactions.
That's fascinating.
It's like speaking a whole different language.
Oh, yeah.
The language of international trade.
You could say that.
And just like any language, it's constantly evolving.
A good import-export specialist is always learning, staying up to date on the latest regulations, and anticipating how global events might impact the agricultural machinery and equipment sector.
Okay, so we've got the essential skills down, active listening, critical thinking.
And a solid understanding of the legal and governmental side of international trade. But with all this talk about regulations and logistics, it's easy to forget about the human element.
How do cultural differences and language barriers factor into this role?
It's fascinating to think about navigating those cultural nuances while juggling international regulations.
Yeah.
It sounds like a crash course in global diplomacy.
You could say that.
An import-export specialist might be negotiating with a supplier in Japan one day and then finalizing shipment details with a customs broker in Argentina the next.
Wow.
Understanding those cultural differences, even subtle ones, can be the key to building trust. And avoiding costly misunderstandings.
So it's about more than just knowing the language.
Yeah.
It's about understanding the nuances of communication and business etiquette across different cultures.
Absolutely.
Building strong relationships with people from all over the world
is essential in this role.
Yeah.
It's about clear communication, respect for cultural differences.
And sometimes a little bit of humor goes a long way.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Now, for someone who's intrigued by all of this and wants to explore this career path further, what does the journey look like?
Well, like most careers, it often starts with entry-level positions.
Okay.
You're not expected to be negotiating million-dollar deals on day one.
Right.
Our research from RoleCatcher suggests that entry-level roles often involve learning the ropes, becoming familiar with the essential documentation, like bills of lading and commercial invoices, and maybe even conducting research on trade policies for specific regions. It's about building that solid foundation.
So no need to be intimidated by the complexities right out of the gate.
Exactly.
You get to learn and grow into the role.
Yeah.
As you gain experience, you move up the ladder.
Okay.
A junior import-export specialist, for example, might be handling entire documentation processes, ensuring everything aligns with those ever-changing regulations.
Right.
They might even take on more responsibility in coordinating logistics for international shipments.
So with that increased responsibility, I imagine the earning potential grows as well.
Absolutely.
Okay.
According to RoleCatcher, the salary range for this role sits between $45,000 to $70,000. But keep in mind, that can fluctuate based on your experience, location, and the specific company.
That's a pretty attractive salary range.
Especially for a career that doesn't necessarily require a master's degree or a doctorate. Although I imagine having a background in international business or supply chain management would be a definite asset.
It definitely gives you a head start.
But there are other ways to stand out from the crowd. RoleCatcher emphasizes the value of specialized knowledge and professional certifications in this field.
Tell me more about that.
What kind of specializations are we talking about here?
You can really carve out a niche for yourself based on your interests.
Okay.
Some specialists become experts in the regulations and logistics of a specific region,
Okay.
like Southeast Asia or South America.
Others might focus on a particular product category.
Right.
Perhaps high-tech agricultural drones or specialized irrigation systems.
So you could become the go-to person for exporting precision planting equipment to the European market.
Exactly.
And don't underestimate the power of certifications.
The Certified International Trade Professional CITP certification carries a lot of weight globally.
It demonstrates a thorough understanding of international trade practices.
Okay.
Another valuable one is the Certified Customs Specialist, CCS credential,
Right?
which shows expertise in those all-important customs regulations.
It sounds like a career path for those who love lifelong learning.
Absolutely.
Because the landscape of international trade is constantly evolving.
Yes.
And for anyone feeling a bit overwhelmed, my advice is to simply dive in.
Okay.
Start by exploring the world of international trade.
Okay.
Read industry publications, follow organizations like FIATA, the International Federation of Freight Forwarders Associations, or attend webinars on import-export basics.
Okay.
There's a wealth of information out there.
And remember, every expert was once a beginner.
And don't underestimate the power of networking.
Oh, absolutely.
Reaching out to people already working in the field, perhaps through industry events or online forums, can provide invaluable insights and connections.
Couldn't agree more. Building a strong professional network can open doors throughout your career.
Well, this deep dive has been truly eye-opening.
It's easy to take for granted the complex web of people and processes that bring food to our tables.
Right.
But it's clear that import-export specialists play a vital role in that global effort.
They're the unseen heroes of global agriculture,
ensuring farmers have the tools they need to feed the world.
And as our global population grows and the demand for food production increases, the work of these specialists will only become more crucial in the years to come. And on that note, we'll leave you with a final thought to ponder.
How do you see technology like artificial intelligence or blockchain shaping the future of agricultural import-export?
It's a fascinating field with endless possibilities.
It certainly is.
The future of global agriculture depends on innovation, adaptability, and a passion for connecting the world one shipment at a time.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of import-export specialists in agricultural machinery and equipment.
Until next time.